Okay, it's time for today's CSS Battle. Let's see what we've got. Okay. I think we're just going to do this as two radial backgrounds. %, 0. So 220, so 110. Make that 1Q. Shift that down 150, so just like that. Then we're going to make a radial gradient 1Q, 50%, 0. The same for 110 pixels. Transparent, but this one 63, 20, 180, no, just 80, 40. So transparent 40 pixels. Then that we can get rid of that bit, and likewise that bit. Then how far down is this? 100. We'll call it. Okay, 95. And that is 100% match. What we could do, let's first off minify and unit replace that. That should be a fairly good score. Then let's do that. D for D. Set that background to this pink. E and 82. 40. Okay. Would mean that we don't actually need this. We do star instead. Then get rid of this bit. This bit we don't actually need like that either, so let's take that. Then we will wrap that in an O. Get rid of that. Just do that. Not quite how we want it. Could make these the other way round. So what's that? That's 100 instead of 150. So 100. Can actually do that. And this offset wants to be 150. Why is that? Make that 150. Leave that in there like. Why is that center coming through like that? That's because okay, let's go back a bit. That works quite nicely. So let's minify and unit replace that. I think we can get rid of that many, but it's still not quite as good as the first solution. And without a bit of fiddling, I don't think I'm going to get better than that. don't. Oh, it's because of that. I think there. Okay. Let's do that. Then I think we could just do that. And then we can get rid of this. Put that in there. Then we can get rid of that bit. Okay, that's quite a nice solution. And then I think for one more, start with the base template. Set this background to this pink. From 58 to what's the difference between that? 95, 150, so 45. 45 up of 260 is 225, so 75. Not the one I was aiming for, so 95. Auto radius. Okay, that looks close to what I'm after. Let's shove that into 90. Let's make that 95. 95 looks right. We take out the background. How wide is this border? So 90 to 160, 70 pixels. So border solid 70 pixels. What's that done? Yeah. That one. Border width 0, 20 pixels, 7 pixels. pixels. That looks right. We set color to this color. A box shadow, 45 pixels. Uh, 50 pixels, 55. And we'll see whether or not that works. Yeah, not quite. All because that little tiny. Oh, good. Yeah, that amount of blur is not going to help. It's a shame that box shadow doesn't work. Does it? It won't work if I use it as an inset either. Will it? Let's take that out and take that out. Fortunately, that's not going to work. Okay, we'll give up with that idea. We'll load up our best solution, which is this one just here. Just check to see if there's anything else we can do. No, it looks good. Don't think we can get rid of that now. I suppose we could. Okay, let's just try one more thing. So back to the background, getting this pink. 95, 90. No. 40 and 50. Set the color to that. Border radius to 0.99. Box shadow. And set one in. All right, we'll just make that 9 and 9. That should get us the bottom. And then we want one above it. So 0 minus 45 pixels. Might be 55. And then on top of that, we want 0 minus 55, 0 minus 40 pixels. Just color that white for now. That should have been that should be 70 for a start. Not 70? How about 50? That's still going to be the wrong shape. It's a shame. How about if instead of using that, use 40. Then just make this circle. Then if we temporarily get rid of this box shadow, set this as a background. Has that got that? Yeah. Then if we set that instead as a linear gradient, transparent 50%, then that'll give us that. Then if we use box shadow 0 minus 55 pixels, yeah, transparent doesn't come through because that's not how box shadows work. What happens if we do it as the top one? Can we get this to work if we do it as the top one? Minus 15. That'll get that. If we do a box shadow inset 0, 0, 0 minus 70. Pink. 70 in this case. Oh, that wants to go the other way around. Okay. Okay. If we set this as var C, then make that pink, then make this purple. Yeah, then it goes horribly wrong, as you'd expect. Yeah, box shadow would be neat, but it's just too much of a hassle. Far too much of a hassle. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.